building out their electric vehicle production, a total I think, investment of, I think it's almost $18 billion, 11 and 7. And Union Pacific Railroad, I was recently out in Pennsylvania, in Pittsburgh, but to see other parts of what was going on. But the Union Pacific Railroad is buying electric locomotives that are being built in Erie, Pennsylvania. And just yesterday, Tritium announced a new facility in Tennessee that is going to build the electric chargers. They brought in some of them to show us what they're like. And you know, this legislation that's already been passed is 500,000 electric chargers.
Debit cards would actually go to drivers regardless of whether they own a gas or electric powered vehicle. According to the governor's office, the total cost would be roughly $11 billion, a commitment made possible by a booming budget surplus. And those who file their taxes under the single individual states will be able to receive the benefit if they make less than $75,000 a year. And after $80,000, the quantity distributed will begin to decrease. For those that file it jointly, the cut of it is $150,000, folks. Now, the Oregon Congressman Peter DeFazio also introduced a bill. There is a long list of states that are actually sending out their own state stimulus checks and some tax rebate checks. After weeks of discussions of providing some kind of economic relief to people in Delaware, the governor in the state plans to use part of the state's record-setting surplus to give each resident a $300 stimulus check. This $186 million plan is paid out of state surplus. It would send a direct check to any person in Delaware that filed a 2020 tax return. So Social Security is now one of the programs that have helped shepherd the most vulnerable Americans through the crisis. And there are some huge changes that are coming this year. These changes will affect all seniors, Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or VA beneficiaries. Lawmakers in Congress are also thinking about passing a $200 monthly boost on top of COLA-adjusted Social Security benefits. Now, when prices started rising in 2021, the country was reminded once again of just how deeply tens of millions of people depended on the monthly benefits that Social Security provides. Joe Biden campaigned on changing Social Security to be fairer and more efficient for the millions of Americans. During his first few days in office, Biden promised to deal with Social Security as soon as possible. It's important to remember that millions of people count on Social Security benefits every month to provide that extra stimulus relief. But the bad news is the program's funds have been running low. The latest official estimate from the SSI shows that just 79% of promised benefits will be payable in 2035 due to depletion of its trust funds. The estimate does not factor in the effects of the crisis, which experts say could move that date up even sooner. Biden touted big changes for the program on the campaign trail.
On our highways, and it's going to change the dynamic of not only how we travel, but the economy along the way as well. Because, at any rate, companies are investing in clean energy futures, and the world is betting on American workers to build it and the American people to buy it. And then we're investing in clean energy as a stronger, more resilient grid, 100% clean electricity by 2035. And that's a major piece of the puzzle and one of the commitments that I made we would try to do. Like the rest of my Build Back Better plan, the clean energy companies of this plan are about lowering prices. That's what this is all about. It's about reducing family energy bills while protecting the grid from extreme weather and making power more reliable. And it's also about jobs. No one knows it better than all of you around this table. The investment is going to support the creation of hundreds of thousands of good-paying jobs all across the country, and how it flows from this, what you're all about to do, or God willing. And it's going to make us more economically competitive while reducing pollution and improving public health and helping us meet the moment on climate change, the most important piece of it, in my view. These investments are about today, and they're also about the future. And we can do it without increasing the deficit